Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Robert Evans. I am co-founder of Action Era, and we're here for an interview series on one of our app owners and a great messenger, an incredible person, not only in the world and what he's bringing to the world and to you, experts, authors, speakers, coaches, or transformational leaders, but also someone that's been a big part of my life and my businesses for over 20 years now. He's got an app called The Journey Inward. His name is Trevor Thomas, and I'm very excited for him to share with you the wisdom that he has around the vision that he has in creating community and connecting people together. So let's get started and let's talk to Trevor.
I am an international speaker and a coach, and I help people create sustainable change in their lives by building community support systems to help them integrate the personal growth changes that they want to make into their lives.
Now, I know that you have your own platform, but you also have an Action Era app. Can you tell us a little bit about the app and some of the ways that it supports and connects to the community platform that you've built?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I have connected the app directly to the platform, so it's sort of an extension of that platform. The platform itself has a bunch of personal growth tools that really help people connect with the changes that they're wanting to make, to connect with others that are wanting to make the same kind of changes. And I've integrated all of those tools into the app and then taken advantage of a lot of the new modules and components that you've been introducing recently in the Action Era app, like the action lists and action forms, to really enhance the tools that are already built into the community. So people can not just work on their personal growth inside of the community, but also be able to extend that into the app and take it with them wherever they are. Makes it much more easier for people to continue working on things wherever they are in life. I mean, that's the whole point of mobile apps, is so that you can always be connected to, whatever it is that you're interested in. So I really tried to combine them together so it feels more seamless as an experience for an individual, whether it's desktop or mobile.
So who would you say is the ideal person to download and get the benefits of this app?
I think if you're an individual that wants to make any kind of change in your life, you're wanting to, let's say, like quit smoking or start working on your health or make dietary changes, or any program that you're taking that you're wanting to take steps on your own, you can use both the app and the website to do that. Or if you yourself have a program in the personal growth arena or an event or a course, and you're wanting to build a long-term support container for your participants to be able to actually take what they got out of your event and program and integrate it long-term into their lives to make lasting change, that's who this is for as well. So whether you're just on your own personal growth journey or you're trying to help others along their journey, I think this platform and the app is really built for all of those things.
So someone downloads your app, and they are kind of that ideal person or the ideal business or whoever they are, as you've just described. What is the experience or the transformation that you would like people to have as a result of downloading, accessing, and experiencing your app?
I think if you're, at whatever point you're at the journey, like the idea behind the app and the website is that it inspires people to take action on whatever it is that they're working on. So they see other people that are doing the same thing. Maybe they get inspired by other people's posts or other people's journeys. And then they find that there's a bunch of tools built into both to help them start taking steps themselves. Maybe they start using the life planner tools to start journaling and start goal planning. They use some of the gamification elements to get motivated. Maybe they connect with other people that are doing events or programs inside the app and find a community of like-minded individuals that will help them move forward in whatever they're interested in. Or they start their own community inside the platform or in the app, and then they use the tools to help everyone move forward. So at whatever step you're at the journey, it helps you get to that end result, which is, I have a change I want to make in my life, and I want it to stick. And this tool and this platform helps you get from that point to the finish line, which is now it's fully integrated into my life. I've made this change. It's part of my lifestyle now. And I can move on to whatever the next thing is for me that I want to start working on.
Awesome. I love that. So based off of just kind of what you're talking about as far as the customer journey and the mission that you have around this, what would you say is the most important message that you want to convey overall in your business to people?
I think the idea that if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling isolated and unsupported, if you're feeling like you don't know what the next step is, or like maybe that you're like, this is a journey that I've been on myself, is like feeling like I had an amazing experience at a retreat or an event, and then coming back home and falling back into old habits and just being back in the energy of whoever I was before, and not having any way of anchoring in the new things that I want in my life, and then feeling like, well, maybe there's something wrong with me. Like, I'm just not motivated enough to make real changes in my life. I want people to have a different perspective on that concept of maybe it's not about where you're at, because everyone has these issues. It's more about how are you going to change your environment and change your daily habits and change your support system so that it makes it easy to make those changes and to make them part of your life. Everyone has these struggles. Like the people that are like, oh yeah, I can make whatever change I want and I'm on to the next thing. All the success stories, it's not nearly as easy as it looks. They had a support system, they had an environment that supported them, they had people that would cheer them on, or they had ways around those obstacles already in place to help them take those next steps. So I want to make it as simple and easy as it can be to help people make those changes. So I guess I would say, my message is you're not broken. There's not something wrong with you. You just need to have the right tools and the right environment to help you get over those hurdles and to make it simple and easy. Like, life is not supposed to be hard. It should be supporting you in making the changes you want to make. Sometimes it just takes a few little tweaks here and there, or just using the right tools to do it. And that's what I want to give people, is the tools and the platform to make those environment changes to make it stick.
Yeah, and what I like, and the way I could best sum it up based off of what I know, is the message that you're trying to also say to people, because you've created this environment, is you're not alone.
Yeah.
That no matter what your circumstances, there is a place, a community that you've created, that you're curating through the app, through the website, that people can come and get support, be inspired, and be transformed. And I like that. I think it's a very powerful message in a world that feels very lonely right now.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Okay, now here's a big question. Okay. Why are you the authority on this message?
Well, because I have been exactly where you are. I built this entire system because I didn't know how to have those things in my life. Like, I used to go to events and retreats, and I would have these great experiences. I would come back home and I would feel like there was something missing. I felt like there was something broken in me. And I finally started having experiences where I would go to events and retreats that I saw had something that happens next. Like, the event it's the catalyst. It's the first step on that journey. A lot of people see it as the end result. So for me, I would go to events and retreats and conferences and things like every 6 months. And that became my personal growth journey. Is, okay, I'd go to these events, I'd have an amazing experience. I'd try to get it to stick for as long as it did afterwards, but I'd eventually fall back into old habits. And then 6 months later, I'd go to another event. And that became my personal growth journey. And I knew that there was something wrong with that approach. There was something missing. And I finally was able to see what's missing is the support system that happens afterwards. If you're trying to learn a new language, there's a lot of different ways to go about it. You could download, you could get a bunch of CDs. Well, people don't do CDs anymore.
That's for sure.
You could listen to
the new apps.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And, you could try to do that, or you could immerse yourself in that language. You could go live within that culture. The more anchor points you plug into your ongoing environment, the more things are going to stick. And that's what's missing, is the follow-up. It's the what happens next. It's the idea that the event is just the first step on that journey of actually integrating what you want to get out of that event into your daily lives. And for that, you need a support system, you need accountability, you need goal planning tools, you need to be inspired and to be connected with people that are trying to make the same kind of changes in their lives so you can support each other on that journey. And I think that's what's missing. And yeah, so that's the most important part to me, is the what's next step.
Okay. Why is this message important now? I mean, with the considering just kind of a global human experience, perspective. Why your message? Why now?
I think something like 90% of events and programs are missing this critical piece. There are, the market is saturated with personal growth events and programs. And the reason it's saturated is because people aren't getting what they need to out of the ones that are already there. So there's always someone new with a new perspective on the same message, hoping that this perspective will be the one that helps you actually do something with it. Not you specifically, but just anyone that's trying to make changes in their lives. And so sometimes the first program we go to doesn't stick. So we go to the next program and then the next program, and they don't stick. And the reason most of them don't stick is because there's no follow-up. We all get plugged into a mailing list, or they tell us about the next event that's coming up, or there's a new book that we're supposed to get. But it's all stuff that we have to do on our own without those tools and without that support system to help us actually integrate the message into our lives. So I feel like, why now? I mean, this is probably the most isolated people have felt, ever. Like, coming out of the pandemic, people are mostly working from home these days. People are connecting through Zoom. People are connecting online all the time, which is great to have that connection. But even through all of that, people are still feeling isolated and disconnected and unable to build the kind of support system that they're wanting. So I think this is a critical time for people to build that community and that support, and be able to take advantage of these tools that we now have access to connect people globally, so that you can find like-minded individuals and you can find accountability partners and you can keep moving forward on the changes you want to make in your life. And because it applies to so many different programs and events, I think that's what's missing, and that's what's been missing for a while. So that's why now.
Okay, awesome. All right, someone downloads your app and they start going through, the experience that you're providing to them, both in the app and on your community site. Give an example of how what they're learning, the message that you're sharing, the community that you're providing, how it's working in their lives. What's happening? What's the byproduct of that?
You mean, like, what's the after effect of if they've done this program?
Yeah.
What's the end result?
Yeah.
I think that, and it depends on if you're trying to build this for your own program or course, or if you're just trying to do this for yourself as an individual. I think ultimately the end result is either you or your participants have built a long-term community where they have accountability, they've got support, they've created goals for themselves, they've got intentions that they've set, they've got a series of steps that will help them get closer to their goals, and they've got a support system that will help them achieve them. And maybe they've actually hit the goal that they wanted. They've lost the weight that they wanted to, or they've built the new. I can't think of any great examples. Like, now they're using the dating profiles properly, or now they're doing an exercise routine that they wanted to do, or anything. Maybe they're meditating more. Maybe they're doing breathing techniques. They've made the changes that they want to make. They've got a support system to help them actually integrate them. And maybe they finally hit that goal and they're on the other side of that. And now they have a community and a system that they can use to apply to anything else that they want to do in their lives that does the same thing. So whether you're an individual or you've got a program that you've built, and you want an evergreen community where people are active and connecting with each other and engaged around your message, and continuing to support each other long term, that's a system that sticks. That's something that you've always got to fall back on. If you start falling back in old habits, you need a pick-me-up, or you need an accountability partner. You've always got that to come back to. so you can stay on track with whatever changes you want to make in your life. So it's not just having a platform, it's now also having a formula for making lasting change in your life that you can apply to pretty much anything. And to me, that's the end result of all of this, is how do we make it stick? And then now, how do we have tools for making other things stick moving forward?
Okay, great. What's one action that someone could take today to implement the message that you really want to convey?
I think,
other than downloading,
yeah,
other than downloading your app,
of
right?
course, download
That's
the
action
app.
number one. Download the app,
Yes.
and to have the full experience. But what's one action that someone could take now that they're listening to you, they're inspired by you, they're ready to have this, to start this journey with you?
Yeah. Everyone works a little bit differently. I think some people need more accountability than other people. Some people need more action steps than other people. Some people like to set intentions instead of creating goals. So everyone needs their own system and to figure out what that is. But the thing I think that works the most for most people is just start taking any step you can towards whatever you're wanting to do. Start doing something every day, even if it's the smallest thing possible, because then you're starting to build momentum. Something a friend of mine called it is you're building evidence of success. You're taking small bite-sized actions every day that get you closer to your goal. Maybe you're not motivated yet. Maybe you don't even want to do any of these things. It doesn't matter. Just do anything. Take any step that gets you a little bit closer every day. And over time, you're going to start to build confidence in yourself around the steps that you're taking. You're going to start to build momentum around the changes that you're wanting to make in your life. And you're going to start to build passion around those things too. Like, you don't even have to like the changes you want to make. You will eventually start to grow the passion around those as you keep doing it. The more things you do every day that get you closer to the goal, the more opportunities you have to start creating anchor points in your life. And when you create anchor points around the changes you're wanting to make, they stick, because now you have experiences attached to them. Now you have emotions and feelings attached to them that you can fall back on whenever you're not feeling like doing it anymore. You can remember that time when you were at the gym and that guy was like, dude, you're doing awesome. And you can be like, man, that guy thinks I'm awesome. So I'm going to come back to the gym again, just in case someone else thinks I'm awesome. I'm going to keep doing this. And you start building more and more of those anchor points. And eventually, it just becomes part of who you are. So I would just say take any step you possibly can, no matter how big. And you'll start to build that momentum that helps you achieve that goal.
Okay, awesome. I love that. All right. What's the impact that you would like to have on the world with this message? And what is it? What is that bigger, grander mission or vision that you have for the world, for people's, the human experience, as I like to call it?
Yeah. Well, I think the most important thing to me is to help people. Like I said, so many events and programs in the personal growth industry are missing this piece. It's that follow-up piece. I think if I can educate people on the piece that's missing and help them start creating that lasting change experience for their participants, and if I can help individuals on a personal level find tools that will help them achieve the results that they're wanting to in their lives, that's the way that I want to impact the world. I want to help people figure out how to make lasting change and find community and have accountability in a way that works for them. It's not about using or adopting someone else's system. It's about finding the thing you want to work with, then finding other people that want to work on that too. And now you have a system for accomplishing whatever that goal is and achieving results around it. And I want to give that to the world, is that what's next step? What does that look like after the event? How do you integrate it into your life? And I think that would, help everyone across the board, anyone in the personal growth industry. If they're able to create those kind of lasting results for their participants, it's going to make everyone's life better. So that's the impact that I want to have.
I love it. I love it. All right, Trevor, tell the camera, what's the name of your app? What's your website address? And any other things that you want to share to inspire them to download your app and go on this journey with you?
Well, appropriately, the website is thejourneyinward.com, and the app is the Journey Inward app. And so you can get the Journey Inward app by searching in the Apple or Android store for the Journey Inward. Or you can go to the website. There's a link to download the app straight from there. So, check out thejourneyinward.com, download the app. Bunch of great new welcome videos in there that show you how everything works. We've got some action lists. We've got a whole bunch of new tools to help you get started and figure out how to start your journey of creating lasting change in your life around the goals that you have for yourself. And yeah, check out thejourneyinward.com for more info.
All right. All right, everybody. This is Trevor Thomas, the Journey Inward app. And so just to be really clear, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're an individual looking for a community, this is the app to download. If you are a leader in the personal development, consulting, coaching, author world, whatever it is, message that you have, connect with Trevor to find out how he can help you build a community for your people to really integrate what you teach them into their lives, not just kind of that one-off weekend experience, but an ongoing transformational, life-changing way of really integrating what you teach in their lives. So it's a very, very powerful and important message. It's a very powerful and important time for this message to come out into the world. And I really deeply appreciate Trevor being here and introducing himself and his app to all of you. So that's it. That concludes our interview with Trevor Thomas. Download his app. Following this is you're going to get a QR code so you can scan it and download it right away. And then connect with Trevor if you have any other questions. Thank you for your time today.